Regulatory and legal considerations. Picture this: you have built a cutting edge generative AI model. It's trained on tons of data, it's powerful, and you are ready to deploy it. But suddenly, your legal team storms in and asks, where did the training data come from? Did you have user consent for that? Can you explain why the model gave this decision if a regulator asks? And you freeze. Now, this is where most AI projects stumble. Not because the model does not work, but because they ignored regulatory and legal requirements like GDPR, privacy laws, and compliance with explainability mandates. If you can't answer regulators, you risk fines, lawsuits, and reputational damage. Remember, just one GDPR violation can mean penalties up to 4% of global annual revenue. Now, that's not a slap on the wrist, that's a knockout punch. Now, imagine the opposite. When a regulator asks, you confidently hand over a compliance checklist. All training data sources are documented and consent verified. Privacy laws like GDPR are respected. You can explain in plain language why the model made a decision. And suddenly, you're not just compliant, you are trusted. Customers feel safer, partners respect you, and regulators see you as responsible rather than risky. So, by the end of this lecture, you will know the core rules of GDPR and privacy laws you must understand as an AI builder, why interpretability and explainability are legal and business requirements, and how to put these into practice without drowning in legal jargons. Alright, so let's break this down step by step. GDPR and privacy laws, what they mean for AI. General Data Protection Regulation is Europe's privacy law, but it impacts anyone in the world handling EU user data. Key principles you must know: lawfulness, fairness, and transparency. You must tell users how their data is being used. Purpose limitation: data must be collected for a clear, specific reason. Data minimization: don't collect more than you need. Accuracy: keep data up to date. Storage limitation: don't keep it forever. Integrity and confidentiality: protect it against breaches. For AI, this means you can't just scrape user data off the internet without checking if it's personal data. If your model uses personal information, you need a lawful basis like consent. Users have rights to access, correct, or even ask for deletion of their data. Take a real world example. A UK startup fine tuned a chatbot using scraped conversations from social media. GDPR regulators ruled it was illegal because users never gave consent. Result: heavy fines plus product pulled off the market. The lesson: if your AI touches personal data, GDPR is not optional, it is mandatory. Going beyond GDPR, other privacy laws you should care about: CCPA and CPRA, California, similar to GDPR but focused on US residents. HIPAA, healthcare in the US, covers medical data. India's DPDP Act, data protection for Indian citizens, and UAE data law, especially relevant in the Middle East market. The trend: every region is rolling out privacy first regulations. So, if you build for global markets, assume you need to respect the strictest standard, usually GDPR. Next is model interpretability and explainability for compliance. Here's the critical part: many laws don't just say protect data, they also say if an AI makes a decision that affects someone, the person has the right to an explanation. This is often called the right to explanation under GDPR. Why it matters? If your AI rejects someone's loan, you must explain why. If your AI chatbot gives health advice, you must show the reasoning. And how to achieve explainability in practical steps. Use interpretable models where possible. Decision trees, regression for critical use cases. For complex models like LLMs, add explainability layers like SHAP or LAG. Generate human readable logs. decision based on XYZ factors. Provide transparency to users. A short AI used your input plus training patterns and not your personal data. And document your model. Keep your model card explaining scope, limitations, and risks. For example, a bank in Germany deployed an AI credit scoring system. Regulators asked, why did this applicant get rejected? The bank had sharp explanations ready, showing income and repayment history as key factors. Result: smooth compliance audit. So, here is an action plan for you. A simple way to start today: data audit, review your AI data. Where does it come from? Tag personal versus non personal. Privacy policy, write a plain language note for users about here is how we use your data. Explainability test, ask if my AI made a wrong decision, could I explain it to a regulator in 2 minutes? If yes, you are on track. If no, time to add explainability tools and documentation. So, here is the big takeaway: GDPR and privacy laws are not just legal hurdles, they are trust builders. Model interpretability and explainability are not just compliance requirements, they are how you win customer confidence. So pick one AI system you are working on right now. Write down the personal data it touches, if any, and then write a 1 paragraph plain language explanation of how the model works and how you would explain its outputs to a regulator. So that's your starting point for being both compliant and trustworthy. Because at the end of the day, AI that's secure, transparent, and explainable doesn't just avoid fines, it earns loyalty, credibility, and lasting success.